Okay, down to business. As I said, we've got some serious football business to attend to. And May 27th is the date for your diary. If you didn't already know, you've seen the Voice newspaper, you'll certainly be hearing about it. Because we do have an Africa versus Caribbean football matchup at Brentford's Griffin Park ground. It's going to be truly exciting. It is the brainchild of the Jason Roberts Foundation and the Soji Sports Foundation as well. So to give you a little bit more information about those two foundations and what's going to happen going forward, I'll ask Stephen Soji of the Sports Foundation to say a few words.
Thanks a lot, Rodney. Again, thank you very much, Andrew, to hosting us here today. Just like to say that I say thank you to all you guys for turning up today on a Sunday. It's very hard to get people out of their beds. Even waking up this morning, I realised that why did I book it so early? But then it's got to be done. But like Rodney said, the brainchild of the Soji Sports Foundation and the Jason Roberts Foundation is that we're quite close as brothers, friends, footballers, and family. And over the last couple of years, we've always gone out, drank. Me and Otis have hung out together, and we've always spoken about doing something together. Jason, FA, Sam, always had a chat about what's going on, who's a better player, who's playing well at the time. So for the last 2 years, we've sort of been behind the scenes talking about what we can do to give something back to the community. And one of the things we decided to do was collaborate, because as you're aware that our foundation are always doing events, Jason's foundation is always doing events, and we thought it'd be nice to come together once and for all to do something together. And one of the things we decided to do was a football match, and as part of the football match we thought we wouldn't include the community, and by including the community we thought let's not just do a game, let's also do a mini festival, something for the kids, something for the family, just basically giving something back to the community as well. Hence the reason we came up with the Charity Family Fun Day. Going to keep it short. The concept of the game is Friends of Africa against the Friends of the Caribbean. We've also included various other charities who are going to be supported through this particular event, and I'm sure Rodney's going to mention a little bit more about that later. But as you're aware, we're going to be putting out a Friends of Africa team, which will probably be winning on the day anyway. Well, the squad's coming together nicely. Mention no names, but I've seen some of the names in the Caribbean squad, so to be honest, I'm not quite threatened. You know what I mean? So basically what we're trying to do today is letting a few people know about what we're doing, getting you guys behind it to support it. We've got a good lineup on the day. We've got various activities going on the day, and it's going to be a great event. It's the first time we're doing this together. It's the first time it's ever been done. Africa and the Caribbean coming together to celebrate something good. We've got some good partners on board. We've got some great people supporting this show. You're going to hear a lot more about it in the next few months, and yeah, hopefully you'll be behind it. Thank you.
Okay, well, Steve has obviously put the challenge down, hasn't he? Yeah, and I can see a few people getting a bit heated. Got my old friend there, Daddy Early. You want to don the shorts, don't you?
Yeah. I'm thinking of coming out of retirement.
Rodney, just to let everyone know that the Caribbean team is coming together very nicely. Anyone wants to have a chat with me about Danny
The question is...
We're a little bit quiet today. We've got some fantastic players, and I'm sure, I mean, to be honest, just to add to what Stephen and Rodney said is, when I mentioned this game to players, this is the one game that players just want to play. People are cancelling shows, all sorts. So I think in the next couple of months in the build-up to the game, we're going to see, a lot of banter. But I think it's going to be a fantastic day, raising money for two charities that want to do good work, and other charities who are working alongside us. So please get involved. Please tell your friends. Please get involved. Bring your friends and family. If anyone wants to come and talk to us in private afterwards about any ideas they may have, we're going to be having a committee going forward that we're going to meet on a regular basis at Cotton's to discuss the way forward. So please feel free to get involved.
The purpose for today is really for you all to get a sense of what the two foundations are trying to do, but it's also to spread it amongst your various networks as well, because what we have at the moment, we have the world of football in the current climate, which has been quite distressing, quite upsetting and disappointing, and what we have is a chance to do something for ourselves, and I think that's crucially to the point. Stephen mentioned a couple of the organisations that the match will support. We're joined today by Richard Taylor from the Damola Taylor Trust. And the man I know very well, a real grafter I call him, Orin Lewis from the African. So it is all about players at the end of the day, isn't it, football? So what I'd like to do, we have the Soji family here represented en masse, I think is what to say. We have Jason Roberts as well. Now, as I understand it, FA is going to captain the African side?
The winning team, yeah.
Let's all go home. It's obviously a done deal. It's obviously a done deal. And of course, we have Jason Roberts, who's going to captain the Caribbean side. I think I would just like Jason and FA to come up, and I'm going to ask them a couple of questions. Round of applause for the two guys.
You know, it's we're not on match. We just bring Jason.
You forgot to really
Well said,
introduce him. It's not Jason Roberts, is it?
Not Jason Roberts, no, but we're only here for an hour.
At least you can say the MBE.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to start with Jason, if you don't mind, Steve. Is that right?
That's all right.
Yeah, great. Lovely. Jason, I want to just ask you, first of all, the idea for the game, how excited are you about the prospect that we can do something for ourselves as a community?
I'm very excited about it. I think one of the things you said is I think the last year has been distressing for many reasons. I think it's a great opportunity, it's a great story. I mean, I've known Sodge, I've played against Sodge since I was a young kid at Hayes Football Club. There's a lot of stories I could tell you. The one I am going to tell you about is when I went up for a ball and I think it went over my head about this far. I was never going to get to the ball. And he headbutted the back of my head. Nowhere near the ball, and that was one of many. So I know Soji very well, and I've been really proud of what he's been able to achieve in his career, and he's gone on and become a fantastic player, as some of his family members as well. And as he's started his charity and all the great work they've done, we've obviously been watching that, and I'm really honoured to be able to work alongside him as someone I know as a friend and someone who's inspired me and many other people.
Okay, listen. Your brother has obviously clearly determined the result already. Yeah. It's a friendly game, but it will obviously be ultra competitive, won't it?
It's always friendly with me and Jason.
He's a liar.
No, to be fair, it's going to be a lovely, day. I'm looking forward for everybody to be together, have fun. But the main thing I just want to really do is just shut up. I've always said that every time.
Just back to you, Jason. It's obviously been a challenging time for the community in terms of football, and you've been there at the forefront. And I think we should give Jason a round of applause. From my viewpoint, so many positive things down the road are going to happen because you didn't decide to wear a T-shirt and stood by the cause there. In terms of the community, how important do you think that football is? I mean, it's obviously grown over the years, but you play at the highest level, you're involved in occasions like this. How important do you think football is to our community?
I think it's a massive story. I was brought up in northwest London. My uncles, my Uncle Otis, my Uncle Cyril, my Uncle David, who played professional football. What they meant to the community was more than just footballers. They meant that you could achieve something, that you could go and work hard and be judged the same as anybody else on a football pitch. And for me, growing up, they were someone I looked to and I know my community looked to. And there's no doubt that without them, I wouldn't be standing here today. I wouldn't be a footballer here today. So I think football means so much to our culture, means so much in the African culture as well. You talk about role models. I think we've got that in our community, and Effie standing here and his family, what they've been able to achieve. So I think football and sport in general is very important to us, and if we can do more than that, not just play football, if we can give something back like Sodja has done, his family, and that hopefully we've done, then I think we can leave more positive imprints in our community.
Love it. Great, thank you. FA, just one more question for you. We obviously got the Cup of Nations on at the moment. Silly question, possibly. Who do you expect to win that?
Nigeria.
Okay. No, but I mean, Nigeria have done so much, haven't they? As all the African nations have. But I think Nigeria is seen as one of the foremost breaking through barriers. In terms of football in Africa, growing in importance all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously we always know Nigeria is one of the the best African nation in Africa. So we're number one from the football side, and what they've achieved, even in England, you know, it's so amazing what all the Nigerians have done here.
Staying with the Cup of Nations, sometimes we hear about managers not wanting players to go, etc., etc. Do you think that African football, in regards to that, gets the respect that it deserves?
Not really, because people always think that you mention Africa, it's always about corruption. Well, it's not always like that. You know, there are good things in Africa, and you can tell what we've been doing is nothing to do with corruption. We're doing it for our own hearts, and hopefully we can good work from there.
Lovely, great. Round of applause for the two players. I think I'm just going to end with.
I need to ask a question.
Let me stand to attention.
Yes, sir.
It's a very important question. It's kind of like a serious question. I listened to TalkSport, and John Barnes, right, is a prominent footballer growing up. Yeah, it's a very important question. And he was asked on Andy Gray's show, "What is it like to be black?" Meaning, what is it like to be a black footballer? And he didn't answer the question. Now I want to put that question to you guys.
What's it like to be a black footballer? I think this year shows that there's issues. I think you have a look at what's happened in the past, there can be no doubt about that. And it moves, it's a moving story. I think you look at what happened in the 70s with my Uncle Cyril and my Uncle David, and what my Uncle Otis had to go through, the 70s, 80s, they had to deal with certain issues, and we have certain issues to deal with now. We've got unemployment issues, we've got representation issues. I think because it's not so overtly in your face, people would like to not talk about it and talk about other issues, but it's something that's prevalent in our game, and probably our biggest challenge, and certainly from the people I speak to, we're not going to shirk from that challenge. We're going to do everything we can, do something about it.
To add to that, when the whole thing about the whole racist thing came out, we had lots of media coverage asking us if Jason was right. When John Barnes didn't answer the questions, that's John Barnes' way of being a black footballer. I've got my own.
But he was actually representing the black.
Yeah, but he does what he did. What Jason, not because Jason's standing here, but what he did, I could relate to that. People don't know what it's like to be a black footballer. I know what it's like to be a black footballer, so I know where it was coming from. So when they asked me, was he right? I'm like, that's Jason, but I think I'm not going to wear it. Not because Jason is not wearing it, because I know what it's like to be a black footballer. So John Barnes or some other big names that don't show the youths how he is to be a black footballer, we got a different opinion.
It was wrong. It was wrong because obviously we always talk about why is it taking us now, our generation, to fight this. Even though, like obviously your uncle, he suffered it. Because 2 months ago I went to West Brom, we watched this video about being a black footballer in England. It was amazing. And what his uncle did, or what they went through, I'll tell you something now, we will not be standing here.
Absolutely.
It was, it was unbelievable. They went through so much that we should be proud of what they've done for us, because without them, we would have been here today.
Yeah.
And when we saw that video, I looked at him, I supported him. Even when he was not wearing the t-shirt, I told him, I said, what do you want? Do you want us to wear it? And he said, no, do what you want to do and everything. I didn't want to wear it, but obviously it would cause more problems, but I thought, I'm behind him. But what made us annoyed more was you're talking about the people like the John Barnes, that are senior players or older players that we look up to, and they couldn't really come out and stand up to say we are black, this is what's going to happen. Jason did that, but even when Jason did that, they still never supported him in a good way. They were always diverting the question, and that's where it comes back to your question, saying he never answered the question. He was a black player.
I was actually shocked.
Yeah.
He couldn't answer he wouldn't answer questions on race.
No,
he wouldn't answer the question on colour.
Because obviously he's gaining for something else different, on his own way. He's gaining. He knows what he's gaining, and he knows that if he answers that question, he might lose a lot of things. It's simple as that.
The beauty of this event is we're going to show the world.
Oh yeah.
What we're all about.
You have to remember.
When we do see people like John Barnes, we need to ask him the question. We personally need to ask the question.
We're doing this, and obviously it's not been out yet. It's going to start from today. It's going to be really public in England, right? The story, only that paper what you see today, people know what it means. They know it's not just really a friendly match. We call it a friendly match, but people know the main cause. you know what? The people know the main cause about it, but they'll see it. They're going to say this is something different.
Yeah.
It's about where black people are making something, you know, as a unity here. That's what's happening for this match. Can I just add to the, obviously the subject we're talking about at the moment? I think one of the things that we as both foundations are obviously going to try and do with this event is, like you said, we're going to bring the Black and African Caribbean community together. But the message we are putting out there is to say to people, let's concentrate on what we're trying to do with the charities, and let's concentrate in terms of raising money for good causes. Because like you said, there are going to be certain media people that will turn this game into the wrong message, if you know what I mean. Again, like you said, the questions you're asking will come up, and it just depends on us who can go to the public and say, listen, this is not about, you know, black footballers doing this, it's about us doing something for the community, and let's not divert away from the fact that, you know, people are going to try and turn this into the fact that, oh, well, Jason's involved, FA's involved. They're trying to make a campaign against it, so we've got to be careful of that. Yeah.
Any more questions while the players are here? Now is the time.
Just a contribution or something to say about, you know, I commend you guys for what you have put forward to the community this way. We are all going to support it. We'll go ahead with spreading the news all over the world, not even in England. My contribution is, or my question is it this event, is it going to be a London-based event or generally national in the UK? Because we saw what happened during the Olympics, how Usain Bolt was given such support in Birmingham. The kind of crowd that came out during that Olympics game, you know, was so massive in support of Jamaica, so the Jamaican team. So
I mean, what we're looking to do primarily with this game, we've got good location and support from Brentford Football Club. It's the right size stadium, it's the right part of London where we can get this game off the ground. In terms of already where this game is reaching, I spoke to Sportsmax, the Jamaican sports channel, and you know that's going to trickle into the whole Caribbean. So the tourist board. So the next meeting we have here, we'll have all the high commissioners. The high commissioners are taking this on board and spreading it to their diaspora groups. So what we have here is something, we're at the beginning, in this room here today, we're at the beginning of something special. And I think we can embrace this and move it forward. And I think, you know, of the success of this game going forward and the planning, we can make this a yearly event and move it around the country. And perhaps, in time, move it to cities across Europe and, you know, Caribbean. And, do you know what I mean? That's down the road. But I think we can actually do this right. We've got an opportunity here where the focus is on what we do. We do it right, we do it professionally, but I think we can, on this level here, is spread this around the country. If people want to travel from different places, you know, we're going to work very hard with our team to spread the message of this game. So it's a very good point.
thank you.
Can I just add from the ACO's point of view, the African Caribbean Community, I just really want to say, first of all, thank you to both foundations for choosing the two charities to be beneficiaries of the awareness and potential funding that might come out of it. I just really want to say this is a very pivotal moment in terms of the potential of the black community to be seen at the highest level, doing something so positive, not only for themselves, but for the wider community. The timing is perfect because with all this negativity that's happening right now in football, because it's racism, the opportunity for the black players and the black celebrities to come together and show, look, we are united, and we're going to show everyone, not only ourselves, but show the wider community just how much positivity can come out of us, and we're going to utilize the thing that everyone is tuned to, football. And to have the two role models as the kingpins, and especially, you know, the way, especially Jason, you've taken this stance on racism. A lot of the black people are sitting on the fence. High-profile players will have to be looking in the mirror and saying, am I doing enough? Because what Jason and FA and everyone else is doing, on behalf of their foundations and wider awareness on crime and health, the domino effect could be huge. Huge. It's a fantastic thing we have here. It really is. Because everyone's going to be, when you think this room, what's going to come out of it, what's going to snowball up to the May 27th and beyond, it's going to have everyone going, why didn't we think this first? Why aren't we doing this? And spin-offs will come from this. And as usual, as we know in the black community, we are the leaders in terms of everyone follows what we do. The problem with our community is we don't embrace it and keep it. We let others, we borrow it out, we don't keep it. This is the first, and everyone else will try to follow. And I'm just proud that from the ACOT and on behalf of my son Daniel, we're linked to this, and just want to say thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for your kind words there, Richard and Orin. And like you said, this particular event we're doing, we're using the players obviously as role models to get this out to the public. And one of the things that we should realise that even though we know we're talking a lot about the game itself, what we're doing is we're involving the community. And by so, like you said, with the information coming out, we've got like family activities for the families to do on the day for kids and everything. We've got performers who will be performing on the day. So again, like you said, it is bringing everybody together. It's never been done before, because wherever you go in London, you've always got an African event, you've always got a Caribbean event. And like you said, this is the first time we've come together and say, look, we're going to do this, we're going to put it together ourselves. And it's the first time it's been done between Africa and the Caribbean coming together to say, look, we are one, we are going to do something which is positive. And like you said, on the day, there's going to be something there for everybody. Obviously, the football match is the main thing. We've got the food stores, we're going to have whistles, we're going to have flags and everything from every country representing the Africa and the Caribbean. And obviously, there's going to be a dance group competition between the Caribbeans and the Africans, which we might let you guys win that. And trust me, Daniel, we're not going to be doing some horizontal, trust me, you know what I mean? So anyway, it's going to be a family fun day, which all of you are going to know about. So thank you guys. Just, you know, any more questions, just throw at these guys because they're here for you guys.
Can I just add something before we get more questions? One of the things I spoke to Rodney about when we kind of, and myself and Steve and FA and Jason were talking about the possibilities of this game was, I didn't want this just to be a press release where it goes out to the Sun, the Daily Mail. I said to Rodney that it's important that we spread this into our community first. We break this, and this is why we're here today. So I'm just proud that we actually, you know, we're able to drip this ourselves, and then before we have the major press release, which will be in about a month's time at a central location, that we've already got our communities immersed into the game. I thought that was a very important message to send out to people.
Because also, like you said, a press conference today which would have included national media, and you know, it's very easy for us to get hold of these people, like, you know, Jason FA, but we just felt it'd be right, what Otis just said, is that we spread it to our people first, because like you said, Orin, it's not something we want to get hold of and suddenly we give it out to somebody, you know, and say, yeah, you take it, you go and organise it. This is something we're doing, and this is something we can pull off and do it together. So this is why we're here today, and we're going to do another one of these again, our community involved, because like you say, as black people, is like if you hear about something being organised and you see it done by black people, they'll be like, oh, who's organising it? Then you realise it's not our people, and they'll be like, why didn't they tell us about it? So that's why we're here today, to say, look, we're telling you guys about it, so let's go out there and spread it.
Any more questions? Now is the time, because we're almost wrapped up now.
What's the forfeit for the loser?
Shame. 1 year.
It
doesn't get any worse than that. I don't think
1 year.
me up. Do you know what? Other people calling me up from all over the country, asking me what's going on with this game, and it's getting to the point now where man are calling me saying, "We can't lose," you know. So I'm feeling a lot of responsibility. I'm just going to play. I'm not a manager. I feel like a manager, general manager, physio, coach. There's a lot of pressure on me.
There is.
That's why I came late.
Yeah.
I was fielding calls.
Yeah. To be honest,
let's put it this way: if we lose, we'll be organising the game before Christmas.
As much as we know, and this is a charity event, I think, like you said, I was reviewing both squads, and I was thinking, you know what, the way the event is going, and the banter and the tension, I'm thinking there's certain people we're gonna have to get rid of because they can't play ball. As much as they'll support it and they're from a different industry, I'm thinking some people are gonna have to get let down. We might have to call up some real players. You know what I mean? But,
Got 2 squads.
It'll be good.
Two captains and maybe possibly a group shot as well, because I think we're here with some history. I might have in mind Stevens. Listen, I'm sure we will meet here again. I think you're absolutely right. Break it to me, it was important that we are here in a black establishment with a Caribbean background. We have 2 wonderful charities that we can be supporting as well. And as Owen quite rightly says, we have so much talent, so much ability, and then we then tend to pass it on, and then it gets diluted. We have a chance now with the players, and certainly with Jason leading from the forefront, maybe not even intentionally, as I understand it, maybe for a while, because it's him and it's his family. He's not looking for any great plaudits, but I can say thank you. People have emailed The Voice and written in and said, you know, what you're doing is superb. And then they've gone on, what about the other guys? Why are they following you? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That step has been made, so thank you very much. And yeah, round of applause for